You're watching Lehigh Valley Sports Scene. Brought to you by St. Luke's University Health Network, a top 100 hospital.
And we welcome you to Sports Scene along with Gwen Begley. I'm Tom Mike Krantz. Well, after Wednesday ends, there will be a champion crowned in the Region 2 Legion Baseball Tournament, and our South Parkland team is still in the mix.
Absolutely. They're making quite the run here in this tournament, but can't seem to finish their games on time. They can't just do 9 innings. They got to clock in those final 2. Well, following their close 1-0 victory against Muhlenberg, South Parkland looks to continue their run in the losers bracket of the Region 2 Legion Tournament. They would have to win 3 games in order to be crowned champions, but the first team standing in their way is the host, the West Lawn Owls. Nate Leeswich gets the start for the Trojans and will look to continue a stretch of strong performances from South Parkland starters. After 2.5 innings of scoreless play, West Lawn gets their bats going. Catcher Nick Sklenarek leads off the inning with a double to left center field to get the Owls leadoff runner in scoring position. Next batter, center fielder Dalton Emmerich attempts to sacrifice Sklenarek to third, but winds up placing the bunt perfectly down the line, and he reaches, putting runners on the corners with no outs. Then shortstop Jaden Himmelreich hits the second double of the inning, plating the runner on third and setting up second and third with still nobody out. After an intentional walk and a strikeout, third baseman Chris Perez hits a well-placed ground ball in between 2 infielders to bring home the second run of the inning. West Lawn still threatens with the bases loaded, but Leeswich is able to get a strikeout and this fly out to right field to keep the Owls at 2. The score would remain the same until the top of the 8th inning. Then West Lawn's starting pitcher Nick Cummings would begin to lose control after walking the bases loaded the previous inning. He leads off the 8th with a walk to E.J. Brandt. Owls making a pitching change and bring in Zach Schreier, but he just doesn't find much luck either. He walks the first batter he faces, commits a throwing error to the next guy, and then walks Matt Mellinger to give South Parkland their first run of the game. West Lawn would bring in their third pitcher of the inning, this time shortstop Jaden Himmelreich. However, his placement at a short would make an error in the first batter, allowing 2 runners to score and giving the Trojans their first lead of the game. Following a double play that gets the Owls 2 outs, late replacement at catcher Ethan Russell lines one into left field, allowing the 4th run of the inning to score. The Owls would get the 3rd out, but South Parkland would take a late 4-2 lead going into the bottom of the 8th. West Lawn would look to get those runs back as a leadoff walk, followed by a double will cut the Trojan lead to 1. He comes around after Adam Mellinger receives Leeswich of his duties on the mound. A sacrifice bunt will get the tying run to third base. The following batter will attempt a suicide squeeze, but the Mellinger throws it to dirt, allowing Jace Sarosky to tie the game on a steal of home. Mellinger would get out of the inning, but the score would be tied going into the 9th. The 9th inning cruised by for both teams, so extra baseball would be needed to find a winner, and South Parkland, they didn't need much time for that. In the 11th, 2 walks and a single by Matt Mellinger loads the bases with 2 outs for Dylan Pfeiffer, and he would come up clutch, smoking an 0-2 curveball right back up the middle and plating 2 runs, giving South Parkland a 6-4 lead heading into the bottom of the 11th. Pfeiffer would then turn his talents to the mound, looking to seal the victory for South Parkland. An error and a single would bring the go-ahead run to the plate with 1 out, but Pfeiffer would not be phased as he strikes out the last 2 batters, and South Parkland moves on with a 6-4 victory in 11 innings.
A little stressful, holy moly. I mean, it's a lot easier playing than coaching. I mean, it's a lot more stressful when you're coaching. But it was a heck of a win. It was a gut check. I told him when we were down 2 in the 8th inning, I said, we're going to score, was it the 8th, 7th inning, whatever it was. I said, we're going to win this game, and it's going to be really sweet when we do. And we believe, and you know, our kids believe, and we came through. They're a really good team. I mean, a really good team. And, you know, they're undefeated for a reason in this thing. And, you know, we're going to show up tomorrow. You know, we're not quitting. We're coming. We're going to try and win this whole thing. That was our mindset going in, so that's what we're going to do.
I came in today, my arm was feeling pretty good. You know, at first we couldn't get any hits, but you know, our guys really stepped up in the later innings. Shout out to Dylan too. He stepped in, made a clutch single. But pitching, you know, it was there. I think I was just starting to get a little tired at the end there. So, but overall, I'm happy with the performance.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I've struggled today and yesterday with off speed, so I knew it was coming. And I just sat back and roped it.
When you get to this level, they're all good teams. There's a lot of good pitching, so you do have to come through with those big hits. We had bases loaded and left it. We had runners at third, you know, 3 or 4 times early on, and we didn't get them in. So, you know, it's huge at this Dylan got that hit. He stayed on that ball perfect. You think up the middle, and that's what he did. He hit a rope up the middle.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a huge confidence booster, and we're going to come out tomorrow and do what we need to do.
We're going to play who shows up against us. I mean, we have a ton of respect for all the teams. You know, totally, we respect all the teams, but we're going to come to play.
Now, this South Parkland team must be pretty tired at this point with 2 extra inning games. Now, they played twice today to win a championship. The first game was early this morning. That was a 13-7 win over Norchester. They play again. We'll have highlights of both of those games for you tomorrow.
Good conditioning. This is where it kicks in right now.
This is where you prove yourself.
Yes, indeed. And then that's kind of part of this next story is athletes are perfection.